Beneath the still waters, a flower rises from the mud, untouched by the dirt around it. This is the lotus, a symbol of beauty, resilience, and nature's timeless wonder. The lotus, Nelumbo nicifera, often called the sacred lotus, has a history as deep and rich as the waters it grows in. Believed to have first appeared millions of years ago, fossil records trace its lineage back to prehistoric times. Its resilience has allowed it to survive changing climates and shifting continents, making it one of nature's true survivors. Native to large parts of Asia, the lotus thrives naturally in countries such as India, China, Japan, and across Southeast Asia. In these regions, it is more than just a plant. It is an integral part of daily life, woven into traditions, art, and spirituality. The plant's striking beauty and symbolic meaning have made it a treasured presence in temple ponds, palace gardens, and rural waterways. Over time, human admiration for the lotus carried it far beyond its native range. Traders, explorers, and horticulturalists introduced it to Egypt, Australia, and the Americas, where it adapted to new climates with surprising ease. Today, it can be found in ornamental gardens, botanical collections, and even as a naturalized plant in warm wetland areas. Despite its widespread presence, the lotus retains a sense of cultural identity wherever it grows. In India, it is the national flower, representing purity and divine beauty. In Vietnam, it symbolizes optimism and strength. Across the world, regardless of borders, the lotus continues to stand as a reminder of the delicate balance between resilience and grace. The lotus is a plant of still waters. It favors calm environments where its roots can anchor deeply without the disturbance of strong currents. Ponds, lakes, and shallow wetlands provide the ideal setting for its growth, offering a stable surface for its leaves to spread and its flowers to rise. Unlike many aquatic plants that float, the lotus stands tall, its blossoms lifted well above the water. Beneath the surface, the lotus anchors itself in rich, silty mud. From these unseen depths, long stems stretch upward, carrying life from the darkness below to the light above. This dual existence, rooted in mud yet blooming in open air, is a defining feature of the lotus and one of the reasons it has captured the human imagination for centuries. Lotus plants thrive best in warm, sunny conditions, with water depths ranging from 30 to 150 centimeters. While they prefer tropical and subtropical climates, their remarkable adaptability allows them to survive brief cold spells, as long as their roots remain unfrozen. In their natural habitat, they often share space with other aquatic plants, fish, and amphibians, forming a miniature ecosystem. In many parts of Asia, lotus ponds are not just wild spaces but cultivated landscapes. Farmers manage water levels, control invasive species, and even harvest edible parts of the lotus. This blending of natural growth and human care ensures that the lotus remains a vibrant part of rural life, a living link between people and the water that sustains them. Perhaps the most famous trait of the lotus is its ability to flourish in water that most plants would find inhospitable. In murky ponds and muddy wetlands, where the water is often dark and sediment-rich, the lotus not only survives, it thrives. This is because its roots are specially adapted to absorb nutrients from the mud without being harmed by the lack of clarity or the low oxygen levels in its environment. As the plant grows, its stems push upward through the water, carrying the buds toward the sunlight. This journey from the shadowed depths to the open air mirrors the symbolic meaning humans have long attached to the lotus, the triumph of purity and beauty over adversity. Even in the most unwelcoming of conditions, the lotus manages to emerge pristine, its blossoms unstained by the murky world it rose from. This purity is not merely symbolic. Scientifically, the petals and leaves of the lotus are coated with microscopic structures that repel dirt and water. Any mud splashed onto them is quickly washed away by rain or by the movement of water, ensuring the plant remains as clean as the day it bloomed. This natural self-cleaning ability has fascinated scientists and inspired materials that mimic the so-called lotus effect. For communities that live alongside wetlands, the lotus's presence in muddy waters is a sign of ecological balance. It indicates a healthy, nutrient-rich environment capable of supporting a wide range of life. Thus, the lotus is not only a symbol in art and religion, but also a living indicator of the vitality of the water bodies it inhabits. The lotus effect is one of nature's most fascinating examples of functional beauty. At first glance, the leaves of a lotus appear smooth and waxy. But under a microscope, their surface is covered in tiny, nanoscale bumps. These microscopic structures create a superhydrophobic surface, one that repels water so effectively that liquid beads up and rolls away instantly. When a drop of water slides off a lotus leaf, it picks up dust, dirt, and even small microorganisms along the way. This process keeps the leaf spotless without any effort from the plant. In fact, this natural self-cleaning mechanism is so efficient that scientists have studied it to develop water-repellent and dirt-resistant coatings for everything from textiles to building materials. This remarkable adaptation serves a critical purpose in the plant's survival. By keeping its leaves clean, the lotus ensures maximum sunlight absorption for photosynthesis. Any layer of dirt or algae on the surface could block the light and hinder its growth. The lotus effect is, in essence, both a shield and a maintenance system, nature's way of keeping the plant healthy and thriving. Beyond its scientific intrigue, the lotus effect has become yet another reason for human admiration of the plant. It's a perfect union of form and function, a leaf that is both beautiful to the eye and masterfully engineered by evolution. To this day, the lotus continues to inspire innovation, reminding us that the most advanced designs are often found in nature itself. The blooming of a lotus is a quiet spectacle. No rush, no sudden burst, just a graceful unveiling in sync with the sun. As dawn breaks, the flower's tightly wrapped petals begin to loosen, responding to the first touches of warmth and light. By mid-morning, it stands fully open, revealing layers of soft pink or white petals surrounding a golden yellow seed pod at its center. This daily rhythm is as precise as it is enchanting. The lotus begins to close its petals by late afternoon, conserving energy and protecting its delicate reproductive structures for the night. This cycle repeats for several days, usually between 3 and 5, before the petals finally fall away, leaving behind the sturdy seed pod, a new chapter in the plant's life cycle. The beauty of the lotus isn't only in its appearance, but also in its structure. The petals are perfectly arranged in symmetrical layers, each one shaped to gently cradle raindrops before letting them roll away. The colors are vivid yet calming, creating a visual harmony that draws the eye and soothes the mind. For this reason, lotus flowers are a favorite subject in art, photography, and religious iconography. In many cultures, the sight of a blooming lotus at sunrise is a deeply symbolic moment, a reminder of renewal, hope, and the promise that light will always return after darkness. For those who witness it in person, the bloom of a lotus feels less like a simple biological process and more like a quiet miracle unfolding in the stillness of the water. The lotus is more than just a flower. It is a symbol deeply embedded in the cultural and spiritual fabric of many civilizations. In India, it holds a sacred place in Hinduism, often associated with deities such as Lakshmi, the goddess of prosperity, and Vishnu, the preserver of life. The flower's ability to remain unstained despite growing from mud is seen as a metaphor for living a pure and virtuous life amid the imperfections of the world. In Buddhism, the lotus represents the path to enlightenment. Just as the flower rises from the murky depths to bloom in the sunlight, so too does the human spirit strive to rise above ignorance and suffering toward wisdom and compassion. Different colors of lotus flowers also carry specific meanings. White for spiritual purity, pink for the historical Buddha, and blue for knowledge and wisdom. In ancient China, the lotus symbolized harmony, honor, and marital happiness. Artists and poets often used it as an emblem of moral integrity, a reminder that beauty and virtue can flourish even in challenging circumstances. Lotus motifs frequently appear in traditional Chinese paintings, porcelain designs, and garden architecture, where ponds filled with these flowers are designed to evoke peace and contemplation. Beyond Asia, the lotus has inspired cultures across the globe. In Egypt, it was linked to the sun and rebirth, appearing in temple carvings and tomb art. In modern times, it has become a universal emblem of resilience, renewal, and hope. Whether in religion, literature, or art, the lotus's cultural symbolism transcends geography, speaking to a truth recognized by people everywhere. Beauty can emerge from even the humblest of beginnings. The lotus is not only admired for its beauty, but also valued as a source of nourishment. Remarkably, almost every part of the plant is edible, making it an important resource in many Asian cuisines. From its seeds to its roots, the lotus provides both flavor and nutrition, blending cultural tradition with culinary versatility. The seeds, often called lotus nuts, can be eaten raw when fresh, offering a mild, slightly sweet taste. When dried, they can be boiled into soups, roasted into snacks, or ground into a fine powder for desserts. In Chinese cuisine, sweet lotus seed paste is a staple in mooncakes and other pastries. The seeds are also prized for their nutritional benefits, being rich in protein, fiber, and minerals. The plant's rhizomes, or roots, are equally popular. These long, crisp, tube-like structures have a mild flavor and a satisfying crunch. In Japan and China, they're sliced into thin rounds, revealing a beautiful lace-like pattern, and stir-fried, pickled, or added to soups. The young stems and leaves are also edible, often used in fresh salads or lightly cooked in curries and stews. This abundance of edible parts means the lotus serves both practical and cultural roles. It sustains communities with food that is not only delicious, but also deeply tied to heritage. Farmers in countries like Vietnam, India, and Thailand cultivate lotus ponds not just for the flowers, but as a renewable source of nutrition, ensuring that the plant remains a living symbol of both beauty and sustenance. For centuries, the lotus has been valued not only as a food source, but also as a powerful ingredient in traditional medicine. In ancient healing systems, such as Ayurveda in India and traditional Chinese medicine, various parts of the lotus were prescribed to balance the body's energies, restore calm, and promote overall well-being. Lotus seeds, for instance, are believed to strengthen the heart, improve digestion, and aid in restful sleep. Their natural compounds, including antioxidants and alkaloids, are said to help lower blood pressure and reduce inflammation. In traditional Chinese remedies, dried seeds are boiled into herbal teas or soups to soothe restlessness and cool the body's internal heat. The leaves and flowers also have medicinal uses. Lotus leaves have been used as a natural remedy to reduce fevers, stop bleeding, and support weight management by improving metabolism. Lotus petals, when brewed into a delicate tea, are said to have calming effects on the mind, a practice still enjoyed in many Asian households today. Even the rhizomes and stamens are valued in traditional medicine. The rhizome is considered beneficial for the lungs and the digestive tract, while the stamens are used in tonics that promote kidney health. While modern science continues to study these claims, the enduring use of lotus in herbal traditions speaks to a deep-rooted belief in its healing power, a belief passed down through generations. One of the most surprising abilities of the lotus is its capacity to regulate the temperature of its flowers, a trait more commonly associated with animals than plants. This phenomenon, known as thermoregulation, allows the lotus to keep its blossoms warm even when the surrounding air is cool. Scientists have observed that the temperature inside a lotus flower can remain between 30 and 36 degrees Celsius, regardless of fluctuations in the environment. This adaptation serves a critical purpose. By maintaining a steady warmth, the lotus creates a comfortable microclimate for pollinators, such as bees, beetles, and flies. On cooler mornings, these insects are drawn to the warm petals, where they can feed on nectar and transfer pollen. This not only helps the insect survive, but also ensures successful pollination for the plant. Researchers believe that thermoregulation in lotus flowers is achieved through increased respiration rates within the plant's tissues. Essentially, the flower generates heat by burning stored energy, much like how warm-blooded animals produce body heat. This ability is rare in the plant kingdom, making the lotus a subject of great interest in botanical studies. Beyond its scientific novelty, this trait adds yet another layer to the lotus's remarkable adaptability. It is not content to passively wait for favorable conditions. Instead, it shapes its own environment, ensuring survival and reproduction even when nature throws challenges its way. Perhaps the most astonishing testament to the lotus's resilience lies in its seeds. These small, unassuming structures possess a natural durability that has fascinated scientists for decades. Unlike most plant seeds, which lose viability after a few years, lotus seeds can remain dormant for centuries, waiting patiently for the right conditions to spring back to life. The most famous example comes from a remarkable discovery in northeastern China, where archaeologists unearthed lotus seeds estimated to be over 1,000 years old. When researchers planted them under controlled conditions, the seeds germinated and grew into healthy plants, defying expectations and rewriting our understanding of seed longevity. This extraordinary endurance is due to the seed's incredibly hard outer shell, which protects its vital inner core from moisture loss, microbial attack, and physical damage. Even in harsh climates, where temperature and humidity fluctuate dramatically, lotus seeds can outlast the elements, lying in wait for the perfect combination of warmth, light, and water. Such longevity has elevated the lotus from a mere aquatic plant to a symbol of eternal life in many cultures. For those who see it bloom, each flower carries within it the possibility of a story that began hundreds or even thousands of years ago, a living bridge between the past and the present. From ancient ponds to modern gardens, the lotus has stood as a living symbol of beauty, resilience, and renewal. It rises through the mud to meet the sun, offering food, healing, and inspiration to cultures around the world. In every petal, there's a story of survival. In every seed, the promise of life that can outlast centuries. The lotus reminds us that no matter how deep the darkness, there's always a way to rise, bloom, and shine above it all.